Hey everyone, it's Sharonda from Payer Waits, and tonight I am in Memphis, Tennessee, inside of the National Civil Rights Museum, here at the world premiere of Apple TV Plus's The Banker, starring Samuel L. Jackson, Anthony Mackie, and Nia Long. Tonight I'll be chatting with the cast about their involvement with the film, so make sure you stay tuned. This is such a remarkable film, and I really wanted to learn about the journey of what attracted you to this project and how you brought it to the streaming service and theaters.
Just hearing the story for the first time when I heard it, it was pitched to me by Joel Vertel, one of our producers, pitched to me and Anthony Mackie together on set of the Adjustment Bureau movie that the three of us were making. And it's very hard to hear the facts of it and not just be like, are you kidding me? This is a true story. We gotta do something with this.
So I wanted to talk about your journey on bringing this story to the big screen, but also too outside of your phenomenal performance that you had. I wanted to talk about your role as a producer in this film. Was this your first feature film? Producing wise?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I was like, no, I've done a lot
Like,
of movies.
ma'am, get it together.
Excuse me, miss. No, it wasn't. But it was the first one that's come to fruition. The role of a producer is very difficult and much more than I expected, especially being a producer and being an actor, because you're on set. When you're the lead actor, you're dealing with everybody, you're dealing with everything, you're there every day. But if something blows up, you have to step out of that and put on your producer hat and figure out how to fix that. So it was a dangerous hustle, but I'm Andy Dufresne. I came out clean on the other side.
Song that tell black stories, from Crown Heights to Sylvie's Love, which I had the opportunity of seeing in Sundance. It was great. Yes. I wanted to know how these films have really impacted you, and also too the commitment to making sure that black stories, whether it's about love or black pain, that they make it to the big screen.
Thank you. First and foremost, my producing partner is Nnamdi Asamoah, and he is the most beautiful, classy human I have ever met in my entire life. And I used to do a lot of different things in my life. And when I met him, I was starting to develop talent. And I had a career at Sony Pictures making all sorts of vampire werewolves movies. I love those genre movies, but I was a little burnt out from that stuff. And when I started to meet different kinds of talent, I said, look, I want to make the movies that resonate with class, theme, message, more relevant. And he and I got together, and it was as if we just sort of fell in love with the idea of making movies together. And those movies and everything that we do is about inspiring a better tomorrow and a better us. And I think we look for things that are relatively just emotional, that really hit us emotionally. Like, I'll read a script and I'll say, you got to read this right away, man. And he goes, this is what we're going to do. And he goes, yeah, this is it. And it's just this beautiful sort of collaboration and camaraderie with finding people that are like-minded, and then having an opportunity to magnify certain stories that have the ability to change our social consciousness and do good and spread a message. So that's what we're up to.
And one of the things that I found very interesting is the relationship with your character and Bernard. You come from two very different backgrounds with different ideologies, but you're fighting for the same thing. And in today's generation, we have this whole crabs in a barrel mentality that everyone talks about. And so I wanted to know.
It's always been present, you know that, right?
It has, but they always say it's worse with our generation. And so I wanted to know, what message would you want to give this message to the new generation on how to work together in the black community?
There's always been the OU think you're smart, crowd that looks at you and kind of bullies you for your intellect.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with being smart. And all you got to do is separate yourself from those people, and continue to be who you are. And don't take no. And don't believe what they say. Believe what's in here. Fight for what you want. And fight for what you believe.
Sam.
And don't let obstacles get in your way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Sam.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. One of the interesting things about Eunice and the banker is that, during this time period, we always kind of talk about the struggle of the African American family, but most importantly, the man in that family. And we really get to see what it was like for women, but more importantly, black women during that time. So I wanted to know, what that experience was like with talking about the plight of the black woman.
I think the black man was at the forefront. But if you look at all great leaders, they always had a strong woman behind them. Um, and I think the black family unit during that period of time had to be stronger because we were all that we had and we were all that we could believe in. So when you see a woman like Eunice who was inspired by her husband's genius, she was also unafraid of taking the back seat to being the observer, to watching everything that was going on as he was out on the front lines. And I think that's important. I think that's what a good woman does. I think you can also be right in the forefront and show leadership, but you got to think about the times that we were living in. There were no space, not just for black women, women period were not allowed to be in the forefront of any type of change until much later on. So to play this woman who was, basically playing a chess game the entire life to create change and to create, the Fair Housing Act of 1968. Essentially, these men, it implodes, but they created the change. And if we can have the mindset of making the sacrifice, taking the L for the next generation to be better and stronger and more informed, then that's what we need to do.
So I happened to be in LA when you received an award with Critics' Choice Association.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I'm part of
Thank you.
Critics' Choice. One of the things that really stuck with me is how you talked about black hair and kind of the treatment you had behind the scenes. While I was watching this film, I was like, yes, Eunice, hair is laid the entire time.
Thank you.
So I wanted to talk because it's been such a huge topic, especially in black films, about the representation of black hair. So I wanted to know what your experience was like with the banker, just because I saw how nice Eunice looked, how good her hair looked.
I definitely had in my contract that I had to decide who I was going to work with, because for me it was a period piece, a part of Black history, and I wanted to make sure the team was great, and I had a great team. Hair and makeup was fantastic, and really open to my crazy wild ideas of like changing things up and just being a part of every Black woman that I know.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Be sure to check out The Banker in select theaters on March 6th and also on the Apple TV Plus streaming service on March 20th. I'll see you guys soon.